everybody, how's it going? Today we have a very special knife. This is a Shirogorov Neon Lite. I picked this guy up from Recon 1 about 2 weeks ago. I saw they had him back in stock and I knew they would not last, and as soon as I was done checking out, they were out of stock. So this is the new certificate of authenticity that Shirogorov knives come with when they're shipped through Recon 1. Comes with that and the little Shirogorov cloth that has the bear kind of embalmed in there. This guy was a lot smaller than I was expecting. Well, I wouldn't say a lot because I looked up and I realized it was about the same size as the Benchmade 940, but I was a little disappointed and a little set off by how small it was, but I think it's going to grow on me. Again, if you haven't watched my F95 video, this is from Shirogorov Knives. Shirogorov is from Russia. Now it is one guy who makes the knives. It used to be him and his brother, but his brother passed away in the past couple of years. Recon 1 is the only place in the US that's an authorized dealer. Other than that, you're going to be looking at getting them from secondhand market or Rust Blades and from Russia with Love. But both of those are based in St. Petersburg, so you'll have to deal with international shipping price and time. This guy is for people who want a more lightweight, smaller, EDC-friendly knife. This guy only weighs 3 ounces. Titanium handles, titanium backspacer, M390 blade on the MRBS system, which stands for multi-row bearing system, which you might be able to see, but you might not. It is etched right there on the far side of the scale, but that's okay. Basically, it just means it's smooth. Now, I have yet to take this guy apart and lube him up, so he's not quite the drop shut yet, but he will be. Very smooth opening. D10 is very nicely attuned to make it that you really can't open this knife halfway on accident. You really have to try. Very fun to flick. It's growing on me as I'm making this video right now. That's how great these knives are. Overall length on this guy is 7.5 inches. If we pull out my F95, you'll see he's a good deal bigger, about an inch, maybe a little inch and some change. But as you can see, this guy has gotten to the drop shut phase. You're next. They make this and they make the Neon Ultralight. The Neon Ultralight does not have a backspacer, and I believe it has some interior milling, which I don't know how much milling you could do on these because you can see how thin the scales are. But the blade is 3 1/4 inches, full flat grind, super smooth satin finish. M390, which seems to be the new blade steel of choice for the upper end production knives. I love the organic designs here. These just swooping lines milled into the handle. It's very simple. It's on both sides. Pocket clip blends perfectly with the curvature of the frame lock as well as the back of the knife. Other videos I've seen, like Nick Shabazz, he has had, the only gripe he had with this knife was that the pocket clip is very stiff and it is very thin, so that if you're wearing jeans or some kind of pant with a thicker material, then you're gonna have kind of a hard time getting it in and out of the pocket. But I've yet to carry this guy, so I can't give my 2 cents on that. Another interesting thing is you can see the backspacer, how the lanyard hole is milled just out of the backspacer, and that there's just kind of a little space on either side if you wanted to put a lanyard in there. I don't know how you would do that. I think you'd have to take the knife apart because most lanyards these days are made out of like 550 paracord. So there's no way you could fit that in there without taking it apart. What else? We got Shirogorov's proprietary hardware, which is basically just a curved flathead screw bit, which is what I'll probably use a coin to open this guy up later when I take him apart. All titanium scales, super light, nice and small, extremely thin, low profile. I'd be interested to see the neon ultralight just to see how much difference it is. Same as with my F95, you can see the frame. The frame lock itself is a little bit higher than the show scale of the knife, so that it gives you a little more surface area or grip when you're wrapping your finger around the knife, because that's how the angle that your finger wants to sit at. It's at like a slant, so it gives it a nice resting position. There's just barely any jimping here at the top of the blade. It's kind of almost pointless. I don't know why it's there. They should have done what they did with the F95, where you've got just very subtle jimping, but there's enough of it. But very, very happy with this guy. This guy was $625, which not only is it a lot for a knife, but it's a lot for a knife this small and this plain. But you know what? I'm okay with it. Shirogorovs are hard to find, and their build quality is astounding. So I'm okay paying that much. As with most higher end flippers, you're gonna have this little itty bit kind of groove milled out of the handles where the flipper is, just so it gives you a little extra space to flick there, and softer impact than just hitting your hand there. What else do we got? I guess handle is 4.25 inches. So I guess we can do a size comparison with some other knives. Other guys I have on hand would be the classics. We got the Delica 4, which is smaller, but not by much. Got the Ultratech. Good size, bigger, about an inch with the glass breaker, a little less. We already did the F95. Got the Stitch handy. Picked both these guys up last week along with my Todd bag. But yeah. So is it small? Yes. Is it a lot of money for how small it is? Absolutely. But I think at some point I'm just gotta suck it up. Committed to the knife game. So, but I'm happy to have one of these in my collection, and I am just fiending to get as many Shirogorovs as I can, but they're so freaking expensive. So, gonna sell off my Microtech ADO, as well as I'm thinking about selling my Liangma, because it's a nice knife, but I'm never gonna use it. Also might sell my Todd bag that I just got. We'll see. But yeah. Great knife. Gonna take it apart later, lube it up, get that drop shut action. Because right now he's a little stiff. So yeah, this has been the Shirogorov Neon Lite.